Greetings, all. This is Dr. Daniel Sable, and welcome to the Cognitive Edge, where you'll gain insight, innovation, and impact that you can use within the classroom or with your students. Today, I want to talk to all my teachers and my librarians about something that happens before the school year really begins. Before the first lesson and before the first research project, before the first book report, and really before the bell rings in September, the school library can already be doing powerful work. School libraries are not just supported spaces, they are not just places students go when the teacher needs coverage. When a class needs books or when someone needs help printing, a strong school library is part of the academic engine of the school. It supports literacy, it strengthens inquiry, it builds students' confidence, and when teachers and librarians work together, the library becomes one of the most important learning spaces in the building. Let's start with literacy. Every September, students return to school with very different reading experiences. Some students read all summer, some did not, some had access to books, public libraries, family support, and quiet time. Others may have had limited access, but they have busy homes, stress, responsibility, or very little encouragement around reading. So when students come back, we cannot assume they are all starting from the same place. That is where teachers and librarians can really work together. The goal should not be to really shame students for what they did not read over the summer. The goal should be to help them reconnect with reading. That means giving students choice. Some students will connect with novels, others will connect with graphic novels, audiobooks, sports books, mysteries, fantasies, biographies, magazines, nonfiction, and or books that connect to real world issues. And some students may need shorter texts to build momentum, others need more challenging books to stay engaged. The library can really help create these pathways. Teachers know their students, librarians know their collections, reading trends, resources, databases, and how to match students with material. These form of experiences come together and make a strong student. A teacher might say, I have a student who's struggling with stamina. The librarian can respond with high interest, accessible books. A teacher might say, my students are starting a unit on identity or justice or science, history, or technology. The librarian can build a tech set. A teacher may say, I need students to read more independently. The librarian can really help create a reading culture that does not feel forced or fake. Because here is the truth, students are more likely to read when they feel ownership. They need to feel that reading is not just something adults assign to them, it's something that can happen or can belong to them. This is really a major shift, and school libraries are built for that shift. Now, literacy is not only about reading books, it's also about helping students make meaning. It's about helping them question, connect, compare, reflect, and discuss. Teachers and librarians can work together to move reading beyond the worksheet. Not every reading experience needs to end with a packet. Sometimes students need book talks. Sometimes they need discussion. Sometimes they need time to browse. Sometimes they need time to say, try this one. I think this might be for you. That small moment can change a student's relationship with reading. Now let's move to inquiry. Inquiry is one of the most important skills students need today, but it's also one of the easiest to overlook Students live in a world full of information. They can search anything in seconds, but finding information is not the same thing as understanding it. This is where librarians become essential instructional partners. Students need to learn how to ask better questions. They need to know how to search effectively. They need to know how to evaluate sources. They need to know the difference between information, opinion, advertising, misinformation, and even evidence. And let's be honest, students think research means typing a question into Google and clicking the first result, copying a sentence, and hoping no one notices. This is not research. This is digital panic with Wi Fi. Real research takes thinking. It begins with a question. The question changes. Students search, read, compare, reject weak resources. They gather evidence, organize notes, and they build ultimately an argument. That process is not always neat. In fact, it's usually very messy. But that mess is where learning really happens. Teachers and librarians can help students understand that confusion is not failure. Confusion is often the beginning of real inquiry. Before September, teachers and librarians should be talking about upcoming units and projects. What research assignments are coming? Where do students usually struggle? Do they have trouble finding sources? Do they rely too much on random websites? Do they understand databases? Do they understand how to cite sources? Do they understand a weak to a hard claim? These are not small details, these are thinking. And students need them across every subject. Science needs inquiry, history needs inquiry, English students need inquiry, technology needs inquiry. Students working on creative projects need inquiry because creativity without questioning becomes decoration. The library can support all of that. Librarians can research guides, curate databases, source evaluation, help with citations, build digital resource collections, and co-teach lessons with classroom teachers. The key word is co-teach. The strongest library programs are not separate from classroom instruction. They're connected to it. A library should not be brought in at the last minute, only when students are already lost. Librarians should be part of the planning early. This is how we move from rescue mode to real instruction. Now let's talk about confidence. This is a part of school libraries that does not always show up on a spreadsheet, but every teacher and librarian knows it matters. Many students come back in September unsure of themselves. Some are anxious, some struggled the year before, some do not see themselves as readers at all. Some are afraid to really ask questions. Some have IEPs or 504 plans. Some are English language learners. Some are gifted students who are bored because no one is challenging them in the way they should be challenged. And some students are carrying worries that adults may never fully see. We're really not sure of students' home life, so the library can become a place where students feel capable again, and that matters. A student who does not raise their hand in class may ask a question quietly in the library. A student who says, I hate reading, may really mean I have not found the right book yet. A student who avoids research may really mean I do not know ultimately where to start. A student who appears unmotivated may actually be just overwhelmed with the new year and the new teachers and all the work that they have to do. Um, Teachers and librarians can really just work together to notice those students. The library can provide low pressure entry points. It can offer choice, support, structure, and encouragement. It can give students small wins, and small wins matter. Finding one good book is a win. Learning how to use one database is a win. Asking one stronger question is a win. Finishing one article is a win. Understanding one citation is a win. Walking into the library and feeling like you belong is a win. Confidence is built through these moments. It's not built by speeches alone. It's built when students experience success and begin to believe that maybe I can do this. This is where school libraries shine. Before students return in September, librarians think about the physical and emotional space of the library. We look around and we think, is it welcoming? Are the displays fresh? Do students see themselves in the collection? Are books easy to find? Are there clear signs? Um, are there spaces for quiet reading and collaboration? Are resources available for students who need that extra support or the student on the IEP? Does the library feel like a place students are invited into? Or does it feel like a place controlled by rules before relationships? That does not mean there should be no structure. Of course, libraries need routines, expectations, and respect, just like the students do. But students should not feel like guests in a space that is supposed to serve them. The school library should feel like it belongs to the students. It's built upon that structure. For teachers, this means seeing the librarian as more than a person who checks books in and out. The librarian is an instructional partner. The librarian can help you build better projects. The librarian can support your struggling readers. And really, the librarian can help use technology responsibly. The librarian can help with media literacy and digital citizenship and really what that means, and research and source evaluation and independent reading. And that independent reading could be anything from a textbook to a comic book. The librarian can help make your teaching stronger, not by replacing what you do, but by extending it. For librarians, this also means being visible and proactive. Don't wait for teachers to come to you. Reach out. Ask what units are coming. Offer to build a resource list. Offer a 5-minute book talk. Offer to co-teach a research lesson. Offer to help with students who are struggling to find books. Offer support with digital tools and databases. Sometimes, many times, teachers are overwhelmed, especially in the beginning of the year when they're just starting. They may not even know what to ask for. A simple offer can really open the door and bring you in. And principals and administrators, they really need to understand this too. If a school says literacy matters, then the library matters. If a school says critical thinking matters, then the library matters. If a school says student confidence matters, then the library matters. If a school says college, career, and civic readiness matters, then the library matters. Um, Really, you cannot claim to value inquiry and then treat the library like an optional extra. This is like saying you value fitness, but you're locking the gym hub. The library is an academic infrastructure. It supports the whole building. So, what can teachers and librarians do before the bell rings? Well, first, talk early. Really don't wait until October when everyone's already buried. Before September, teachers and librarians should connect about units, projects, reading goals, and student needs. Um, Second, they should be building reading pathways. That's web guides and every different way that you can possibly reach out to students. You should be creating book lists, displays, text sets, and digital collections that give students many ways into reading. Make sure students can find books that are interesting, accessible, diverse, and relevant. Third, plan inquiry lessons. Don't assume students already know how to research. Teach them how to ask questions, search well, evaluate sources, take notes, and use information ethically. Fourth, support all learners. Think about students with IEPs, English language learners, reluctant readers, advanced readers, and students who need audiobooks, visual, short text, or additional structure. Fifth, make the library visible. Invite classes in, visit classrooms, share resources with teachers, promote the library as a place for reading, research, technology, creativity, and support. And sixth, build confidence from day one. Students should leave the library feeling more capable than when they entered. This should be one of our goals, really. As September approaches, teachers and librarians have a major opportunity. We can help students come back not just to assignments, but really to ideas, not just to strong hearted rules, but to routines that support learning. Not just the book, but to reading lives. Not just to research projects, but to inquiry. Not just to school, but to a place where they can grow. Before the bell rings, the library could already be doing the work, building readers, building thinkers, building confidence. And when teachers and librarians work together, that work becomes even stronger. So as we prepare for September, let's stop treating the school library like a side room. Let's really treat it like it is. It's probably one of the most important learning spaces in the school. Thank you for watching The Cognitive Edge. Keep reading, keep questioning, keep building schools where students believe they can think deeply, learn bravely, and grow with confidence. Again, I'm Dr. Daniel Sable, and thank you for your participation. Take care. Bye bye.